Since now it has been about a year since The Flash finished and the Arrow was finished, I'm going to rank The Flash main big bads from every single season. I know there are gonna be some people that don't agree with this list at all, because there's always going to be that. Please tell me in the comment section down below what your list is. If you disagree with me or if you have any questions, please leave them in the comment section down below. But anyways, I'm just going to go straight into it, and let's get started with number 13, the Speed Force. Why is she a villain? I don't even know. She is by far the worst villain in the show and one of the worst villains in the Arrowverse. Her coming back makes the artificial Speed Force useless and ruins that arc. She is just so forgettable. I didn't like this character. But anyway, let's continue. Coming in 12th place, we have Mirror Monarch. For me, I would say that she is one of the most boring villains on the show, if not the most boring villain. Sure, she had an interesting gimmick, and the storyline where she replaces Iris was okay, but her whole gimmick was poorly executed, like a lot of other things that came later on in the show. I still can't believe they replaced Bloodwork with her. But anyways, number 11, the Red Death. Leslie did not come across as a psychopath being dangerous. Instead, she came across as a high school theater acting kid trying to look and sound dangerous to try and prove that she can act like a psychopath. I don't know if the script was just bad or the acting was very sketchy at times. I don't really know. I just couldn't take her scene seriously at times. I understand why Bruce Wayne wasn't the Red Death, because he really didn't exist in the Arrowverse. I know he exists, but you know what I mean. But why on God's earth wasn't Oliver Queen the Red Death? He is Arrowverse counterpart to Batman Bruce Wayne, and would therefore make sense to be the Red Death. That baffles me. Coming in 10th place, now we're in the top 10, is the second Cicada. To be completely honest, I really like the concept of a meta-human serial killer, but the execution was terrible, and I still can't imagine how good the Cicada characters would be if the show had better writers and the execution would be much better. Also, the Flash could have beaten them easily. And just like Cicada, coming in the 9th place, we have the original Cicada. Everything I said about the second Cicada can be said about the original one, but I still prefer him over the second one just because we got a lot more scenes with him that I enjoyed more. But anyways, you can switch them, but I don't really care. But anyways, let's continue. Number 8, we have Colbat Blue, the last big bad of the show. I don't really want to talk about this character, but I have to. Overall, the side of his arc was okay, but he wasn't very good in the finale. Could have been better if he had more episodes than 4. He's the final big bad of the entire show, the entire Arrows, and all he got was 4 episodes. That pissed me off. He should have gotten an entire season, and then maybe he would be higher up on the list. But anyways, let's move on, because season 9 just pisses me off, and how they ended up with Zavitar and everyone being destroyed by Team Flare, I don't really talk about it. Let's move on. Number 7, we have Deathstorm. I'm gonna start off by saying that Deathstorm had a brilliant design in the show. He actually looks so good. I enjoyed this arc overall, but looking back at it, Barry and Deathstorm never actually fought, and he didn't even play a part in defeating him. He played a much larger role during the mystery of the Black Flames before the Deathstorm reveal, and then after the Flash was no longer helping them take down Deathstorm. Overall, I think we needed a few more episodes with Deathstorm and making the Flash the main character actually fight Deathstorm, because let's be honest, in season 8 and 9 this show had a terrible supporting cast. I watched the Flash show for the Flash, not Cecile or any other supporting cast member. Cisco was alright, but obviously he wasn't in those seasons. But let's move on. In 6th place, we have Godspeed. Godspeed is one of my favorite Flash villains in the comics, because he's not even evil, just angry and trying to find his brother's killer, making questionable decisions but having them paid off in the end. His motive was good, but not his execution. He had a good heart and wanted to try to be better and make the city a better place. In the show, they turned him into a boring villain that everyone had already seen. Plus, he was defeated by a Cecile headache. Come on, let's be honest, that would never happen. And now we have the top 5. These 5 characters I actually really enjoy, and I think are truly good characters. But anyways, let's start up with number 5, Bloodwork. He was really great, the second best non-speedster villain, and the last great villain ever on The Flash. I still can't believe how good Eric Wallace did with his Bloodwork arc, but then he wrote the rest of the show, which was terrible. Overall, Bloodwork was a good villain, but had to be a bit rushed between them starting their second villain per season or 2 villains per season formula, and Crisis taking up plenty of his time. Anyways, let's continue. In 4th place, we have The Thinker. I think The Thinker is the last truly big bad because Thawne, Zoom, Zavitar, and DeVoe were developed for an entire season. The story each time was rewarding because you could feel that Team Flash was slowly getting better and more likely to defeat the big bad. Plus, we learned more about the villain in the season. As we went on, they kept evolving in some way. Season 4 did the same by having filled episodes about each Budge meta that ended up being related to DeVoe's plan. Also, he was very famous on TikTok and you couldn't escape him, if you know what I mean. So yeah, I truly believe he is the show's last true big bad villain. And now we have the top 3, and I think everyone can agree these 3 people are in the top 3, but they can switch the order around, especially for the top 2. But anyways, let's continue. In 3rd place, we have Zavitar. Yes, I do really enjoy this character, and I know it's a little bit confusing, but I will try and explain his origin for you all. His origin is that he is a paradox created by himself. He wasn't the first speedster. Zavitar went back in time and created the myth of him being the first speedster, but he would not have existed if it was not caused Barry to produce many time revenants, and then Zavitar killing all but a single one that would eventually become him. I know it may be very confusing and take some rewatches if you need them, but overall I really like this character and his suit is top level. I think everyone can agree on that. Also, this character shows that Grant Gustin is a good actor, and also his reveal was pretty fantastic in my opinion. But anyways, let's remember.
Like I told you from the beginning, I am the future Flash.
In 2nd place, we have the Reverse Flash. There's not much I really have to say about this character. We all know him and we all love him. Some people may say the Reverse Flash is overused, and in some sense, he is. Hear me out. He is overused in the sense that they keep bringing Tom back to playing this role of the Reverse Flash. I think Tom is a fantastic actor and I really love his character or portrayal of the Reverse Flash. He also is one of the best things about the show, but come on, that's not really his face. Why would Thawne use it after season 1? Also in the show he is supposed to be an annoying character to the Flash that just keeps on coming. That's literally his character. But anyways, even though he is in 1st place, I still love the Reverse Flash. Don't get me wrong, it was very difficult to decide which character got the 1st place, and it would be completely understand if you had him in 1st place. But for me, at the moment, he is number 2. And we can all agree that he has some iconic lines and quotes, like for example,
The reason I know all this is because your powers are almost exactly like those of the Flash.
Well, I'm not like the Flash at all. Some would say I'm the reverse.
He'll find you.
Your cousin. Really fun tidbit. I fought your cousin once. In the future. He is fast. I'm faster.
And finally, in 1st place, you all guessed it, we have Zoom. Hunter Solomon, also known as Zoom, had a rough childhood with a violent alcoholic father, like a lot of other villains. He grew up without any empathy for people. He became a serial killer and was eventually caught, convicted, and sentenced to death by electric chair. However, he survived because of an accident with the Earth 2 particle accelerator, which hit him with some surge of electricity. just as he was being executed. This event gave him his superpowers and made him believe he was unstoppable, and soon became a badass villain who beat the shit out of the Flash, had a badass suit, and there's no more has to be said. He may be my favorite villain in all of the Arrowverse. Also, just like the Reverse Flash, he has a bunch of iconic lines and quotes, like for example those which I'm about to show you.
You just say.
You can't lock up the darkness. Never forget, I am the fastest man alive.
Why the charade? Running around dressed like the Flash.
To give people hope, Detective.
Hope.
So I could rip it away from them.
I truly love this character. His suit is also just truly badass and I love it. But anyways, this is going to be the end of today's video. Thank you all for watching, and make sure to consider hitting that like button and subscribe button if you haven't done it already. But anyways, thanks for watching and I'll see you all later. Goodbye.